And I want to bring in Chief Innovation Officer at Boston Children's Hospital, ABC News medical contributor Dr. John Brownstein, for a little more on this. Dr. Brownstein, thanks so much for being here. What do you think the timeline looks like after Pfizer applies for this emergency use authorization, and what impact could this have?
Yeah, well, good morning, Diana. Great to be back with you again.
Likewise.
Yeah, I think that we have a great opportunity to see the vaccine roll out now in those under fives. You know, there are so many parents that have been incredibly anxious. So we'll potentially see this authorization application submitted, and potentially by the end of February, that authorization for those 2-dose series. Now, we still don't know. There's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of the regulatory process. And we have to remember, they've expanded the trials to a 3-dose. They started with 2 doses of that 3 micrograms, 1/10 the adult dose, but that wasn't shown to produce a really significant immune response. So now we have these new trials. It's possible we'll see, authorization for the 2-dose, and then potentially that 3rd dose to get kids some level of immunity. We have to remember, there are millions of kids that have tested positive throughout this pandemic, so getting that protection is going to be super helpful. At the same time, we have to take the necessary steps to show this vaccine is safe and effective, because we really haven't rolled out, even in the over 5s, that well yet. So we have to really make the case for the vaccine, and with the data, letting the data drive the decision right now.
Is it possible that we end up getting feedback? Because it seems like the younger the age group, the more the debate starts stirring about boosters and vaccines and so on. So do you think there could be a debate over whether vaccines are necessary for this young age group?
Absolutely, because, as we know that, the risk for kids, as you go younger is lower. At the same time, kids do develop severe consequences of this virus. But if the 2 doses is not producing the immune response that you would want to show real protection, there will be a debate. Is it worth getting my kids vaccinated now, not with no real significant data? So I think there's going to be a debate. On one hand, you have parents super anxious, wanting to get their kids vaccinated. On the other hand, there are parents that really are not convinced yet. And we have not yet seen, that sort of uptake in the 5 to 12-year-olds. That's only about 20 to 25% of kids in that group are fully vaccinated. It will continue to go lower as parents are more concerned about their younger kids.
Now, 38 states are reporting a decrease in average daily COVID cases. Finally, there is a lot of talk now about COVID turning into an endemic rather than a pandemic. So, one, is that true? And 2, can you explain what that really means?
Yeah, no, I know this, this endemic word is something that people keep talking about. It's really this idea that the virus becomes part of the respiratory mix of infections. We have, cold and flu season. We have other coronaviruses. This coronavirus will be part of that, and we'll deal with it and learn to live with it. But we have to remember, we have still yet vaccinated billions of people across the globe. We're still dealing with the surge, so we're not there yet. But I do think we have to head towards a place that we're learning to live with this virus. We have vaccines, therapies, testing, and I think ultimately we'll have better vaccines down the pike. But we also have to know how to off-ramp. I think that's going to be a real challenge. How do we start to remove masks? How do we start to gather indoors? I think we have to begin to off-ramp to that normal life, because we may deal with a surge in the future, and those restrictions will have to come back, and people will have to be able to embrace them. So I think, we're heading there, but, obviously we're still dealing with substantial transmission in the community. So, we're not quite to a point where I think, we can call, anywhere near victory on this pandemic.
All right, Dr. Brownstein, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.